Hello my little bats, I hope you're doing well today and welcome back to a new video. In my last video, I have explained that I want to try to learn Japanese in the year 2026 with the simple goal to be at least able to hold a simple conversation. And as I explained in my last video, I want to document the progress and everything that I did the last 31 days. On day 1, I was pretty dedicated. I've downloaded Anki on my phone, started to watch Japanese YouTuber, and every time I spotted a word I didn't understand or was curious what it means, I noted it down, used jinja.org to get the translation and the meaning, and made a flashcard out of it on my Anki app. I also used apps like Shinobi for simple reading lessons made out of some words that I was curious about, a flashcard on Anki, and managed to mine a lot of flashcards. Another thing I did is I went on VR chat, going into a Japanese server and listened to the people having conversations. And I did that for the next week or even a bit longer, until at around day 10, burnout. Even though I had mined so many words and listened to people talk on YouTube videos or on VR chat, I had no chance of even trying to get into a conversation, and if I did, I got extremely humbled. Even trying to explain that I was just trying to learn Japanese to them was super hard for me, but they at least took it with a smile and said that they find it super cool that I was trying at least. But still, where did I go so wrong that motivation for learning this language is gone? I didn't know until this small YouTuber has changed my view on learning Japanese completely with a very simple but powerful video. And this video is called How to Get So Addicted to Studying Japanese It Feels Like a Game. And to be super fair, I believe that this guy deserves so much more subs, so please go and check out his channel and this video, link in the description. In summary, this video explains how to make learning Japanese feel fun and not like a chore, with a few simple things to keep in mind. For example, it is way easier to learn any language when you can comprehend the words with visuals to have context to what it is said. I didn't know why I didn't think about that in the beginning. To be honest, it does make a lot of sense when thinking about it. I watched his video just recently, and not only did he provide a simple explanation on how to make learning a language fun, but also provided with all the necessary tools and apps to immediately get started. After watching his video, joining his Discord server, and get all the applications she showed in the video, I started to write down a new strategy on how I will approach this. No, I'm not gonna grab my old grammar books and start grinding grammar, or at least not in the foreseeable future, but I wanna try to change up my old strategy, and I wanna explain to you why. So let's go with the new strategy. Number 1, use Anki once a day and learn the pre-made stack Japanese Core 2000. Hold on, didn't you say that you already have mined flashcards on your own? Why do you also need a pre-made stack? Can't you just use the deck you have mined? Good question. Simple answer, I could. But the issue is that all the words I have mined just were unnecessary words that I would not use in a simple conversation a lot. I'll explain that later in the video. Number 2, use G10 to watch easy shows and do more shadowing. G10 is a Google extension that makes you have subtitles, which you then can use to then translate with Yomitan, another extension, and mine new flashcards with it. If you follow Bjorn's video, he'll explain to you how to set up everything so you can make easy flashcards for Anki in just a few clicks. I do also recommend using Yomitan, because with that, not only can you just click on the word and get an easy translation, you can also check the frequency of the word being used in conversations, and according to that, make a flashcard. But again, I'll go deeper into that later. Number 3, immersion by listening to podcasts and other shows when doing something else. That one was something I did in the beginning as well, but kinda lost again as I was a bit in the dumps after a while. But as I have to get back to work soon, I'll use this to instead have a YouTube video or any other Netflix show on. I'll listen to a podcast like Nihongo Gon Teppei or Japanese podcasts with Jiro. So even if I don't intentionally grind on Japanese, I at least do it unintentionally, which is similar to when you go into another country, sit in a cafe and just listen to everyone around you. Same idea here. And as soon as I did all of that, we go to the next most important step in this strategy. Number 4, start having conversations. In the beginning, I already went to VR chat and jumped into Japanese servers, thinking that I can just listen and maybe have some easy conversations. But keeping in mind the thing I said a few minutes ago, I had no chance to interact due to having zero context, which made it impossible for me to either understand what they were talking about, nor had I a chance to answer questions. But that's why I want to use Bjorn's Discord server a bit more. because he has VCs there so people can start simple Japanese conversations with each other, because everyone in there is there for one thing: learning Japanese. Of course, I want to go back to VR chat when I start to feel more comfortable to talk and understand, but I'll not just waltz in anymore and expect to just listen or find someone that also speaks English so they could translate things to me if I need it. Stupid, I know. So we have our new strategy here, and we have Anki as well as Jiten and Yomitan installed. What else is there? Oh yes, the big question is now what words to mine and what words to just skip. Let me guess. You're just like me whenever your teacher told you to only highlight the most important words in the book, and you start to color the whole page with a highlighter because you think that everything in there is important. I'm kinda like that when it comes to mining new words. Every word I didn't understand, I just took it and made a flashcard out of it, sometimes making up to 10 new flashcards in just a few minutes, thinking to myself that this is the way of learning Japanese super quick. But in actuality, the only thing you do to yourself is stuff your brain with words you might never use in a conversation or just maybe once or twice a week. So how to avoid this? Again, thanks to Bjorn, we have a little checklist for when a new word can be mined as a flashcard. Confirm if the word is either comprehensible or appears 2 to 3 times in a short amount of time. So you either have to understand the word by simple context, by either watching an anime show or reading a manga, or whenever you notice that the word came up more than 2 or 3 times in a short time. I noticed that the word omu came up in a video a few times, so I took that and started to get the definition, which is, by the way, to think, to believe, to dream. And as soon as I saw this word popping out in more videos or even shows, I understood with the context shown that the character was saying and meaning. So let's continue with omu, and let's say you just noticed that this word popped up more than twice in a show you were watching. The next thing you do is look up the word in Yomitan. Either Yomitan or jisho.org are super websites to use as a dictionary, but just for the next step alone, I recommend to use Yomitan, because after getting the definition of the word omu, you now have to confirm the word's frequency. Yomitan allows you to look up the frequency of the word you're looking up. Taking our word omu, we can clearly see that the frequency is pretty high, so we now know that this word is perfect to make a flashcard. So now we know when a word is deemed to be worthy to be a flashcard. How many flashcards should I make? Making 10 in a minute is maybe a bit too much, so we have to reduce the amount to make not more than 5 flashcards per 20-minute episode. So instead of filling your deck with 10 flashcards, I'll try to minimize it by max 5 flashcards to make sure I'm not oversaturating the deck with new words, knowing well that I have to also learn all the other words from the pre-made deck too. Okay, but how do you know if the show you're watching is not too difficult for you? Another really good question you got there, my friend. But thankfully, G10 has the answer. When going on media and sorted by difficulty, you can immediately see all the beginner shows. And if you have a VPN, like I have, you can go on Netflix Japan and look for all the J-dramas and filter out if they're too difficult for you or not. That is how I found the J-drama Good Morning Call. It is super cheesy and a bit cringe to look at, but I also kinda like the over-the-top acting. It reminds me a lot of all these slice of life animes with the way they behave and such. The next thing I'm thinking to look up is Karaka Yozu no Takagi-san, as it is marked as a beginner show, and I did hear that it is a really good anime. Okay. So now we have a completely new strategy, some more motivation and new tools to help me out. Now the next step is, how do I keep myself motivated? I already noticed in this short time that I'm way more motivated to open my Anki. But what if it happens that I can't get myself up to study, or what if I'm burn myself out again? One thing that I like about apps like Duolingo, they have a streak system, showing you how many days you already learned and keeping you motivated by that system. Because you don't want to lose your streak or make the owl angry. I have downloaded a habit tracker on my phone and attached it on the front, so whenever I feel a bit in a dumps, I can see the streak on there, and it motivates me a bit more to open Anki or mine new words. I also want to use Bjorn's Discord server for small conversations, for example, and maybe get some feedback on what I could do to learn better. And with podcasts I can listen to whenever I work on commissions or I'm at work, it will hopefully help me too with the motivation. Okay, so now let's go over everything and see what I've learned. One thing I've learned for sure is that immersion is a good way to learn a language, but just going in blindly without a strategy or anything like that will lead to burnouts because I'm overdoing it, which only demotivates me. So I do hope that with the new strategy and checklist system I can do a bit more without overdoing it. And with all these tools now, I can watch all the Japanese YouTubers while also minding new words in moderation, so I can use them to learn while being in the train or just sport in general. So now that we have the 31st of January, I technically would start from the beginning again. But I will not see that as a complete pushback. Instead, I'll see that as a learning curve. Because when I was young, I tried to learn Japanese with all the different books I either got or bought. I didn't know which words I have to learn, and having to deal with grammar wasn't making it easier on me. But now I have an idea on what I have to keep in mind when learning new words, how I can learn them, where I can note them down, and especially how to put them into practice. So yes, even learning how to learn is somewhat of a success in my eyes. Or what do you think? Do you have your own strategies, or do you prefer to just go in and immerse yourself completely? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to see how you learn your target language this year. So welcome to the second attempt to make the outro here. Welcome to the end card. The first time I spoke like for over 10 minutes. So this time I made some small notes, like some little bullet points of what I want to talk about, to hopefully keep everything short. Number one thing is planning to stream more. So by next week I am starting to get back to work, but due to not working full time for a while due to my burnout, I do see myself to try to stream more after work. I said already in one stream that art streams will be in the afternoon most of the times, at least Central Europe times, and other streams like gaming will be in the evening. So please keep a check on my Instagram, as I will try to announce it there, as well as also on Twitter. I do try to Twitter a bit to try to use Twitter more. Thank you. This will not be cut, by the way. I try to leave the end cards as natural as possible. So another thing is planning on new content, like the by Daylight content. Reason is, yes, I love to do art content, but I also love Dead by Daylight. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Pretty much the only PvP game I ever play, and I absolutely adore this game. So I think about to maybe go more into that. I don't want to do like Salt videos, or at least not for now. If I ever get Salt in my end games or anything, then probably, but until then I just want to talk a little bit about killers and stuff like that. Then another thing that is really important is my Etsy shop. My Etsy shop is closed. It's shut down. It doesn't exist anymore because for a few reasons. First of all, it was technically only up as a trial, and I already extended the trial for way too long. And also I made more minus than plus due to having to pay 20 cents per product per month. And if you don't sell a lot, that is a minus, and I didn't sell that much. To that person that bought the stickers and the keychain, thank you so much also for your nice review, but I had to shut it down because paying these 20 cents per month per product was it accumulates quite a bit. So I had to shut it down, and I moved it over to my Ko-Fi. So I will soon make more products and upload them on my Ko-Fi shop, because I have more free range over it, and I don't have to pay for the product being up. Speaking of the products, I will hopefully soon upload the Valentine's Day merch Some of you maybe already know what it is, or some of you already figured it out. It is inspired by Love and Deep Space. So if you check my Ko-Fi, you already know how the postcards will look like. And so please check out my Ko-Fi. All the links are in the description. And also the VGens, if you want to have commissions done by me. I know it does sound a little bit like e-bagging and everything, which it is kinda. But if you want to get a commission done, please check out my VGen. I'm trying to get verified there. So I have a few cool commission services open. One of them will close by the end of Valentine's Day, so around either the 15th or 16th of February it will be closed. But until then, you can still ask for a YCH commission on my VGen. So that was all the points. I should do this more often, like write down the points that I want to talk about, so I don't like ramble too much, which I already do. So yeah, thank you so much all for watching this video and listening so far. Let's hope by the end of February I can do a bit more Japanese than I can do now. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and as always, wash your hands, stay safe, take your vitamins, take your medicine, stay hydrated, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!